Hello everyone and welcome to QualityOldGames. Today we are starting a new campaign in Rome Total War Original Rome, and you have spoken what campaign I'm to play. So the channel members, their votes were kind of evenly divided between Carthage and Thracia. So based on the other votes around there, Carthage seems to be the most popular one. And of course there will be a twist, so it will be Iberian Infantry only challenge campaign. The difficulties will be very hard, both, and army composition must be most of the units Iberian Infantry. An army can have one general, but I cannot have kind of free-moving generals supporting the army, so they must have at least several Iberian infantries in the army to actually function. And about the campaign play, I will select the long campaign, but I'm not certain that we will get to 50 provinces, so the main goal at the very least is to wipe out Roman factions, so take control of Italy and take control of Greece. I think that if we manage to beat both of these, the Iberian infantry should do relatively well against other factions, so those will be the most difficult ones. But without further ado, let's begin. And by the way, I kind of reset the modding I had done for the extreme difficulty Julia campaign. So the Julia are starting from Italy in this campaign. But yeah, at least we will have a nice income as we are kind of disbanding all of the units. By the way, that Iberian infantry only can get a bit difficult because, well, in some settlements we have no garrison at all, and we cannot make peasants to boost our public order. So that's going to be an issue. But yeah, we are going to have a nice amount of money. The only question is, can we actually spend it? And of course we can make ships. So that's what we can do. But mercenaries, for instance, are off limits for us. So it will be a bit tricky to get things going, I think. We need to try to get some doom stacks of Iberian infantry. And we need to... Oh, okay. So it will grow rather fast. So we can have the barracks over there rather quickly. I think this settlement we should manage as well. Caralis is going to be problematic. We need to send a garrison troop from Carthage over there. Oh. Perhaps we should actually make the militia barracks here first. And in Lilibayum, most definitely. So Hanno seems to be a rather decent general. He can take charge of the army. And I think our main goal first is to liberate Sicily and then head to Italy. Because we most definitely want to wipe out the Romans before Marian reforms. Because if they get Marian reforms, we are in so much trouble with Iberian infantry only. Okay, let's upgrade Corduba. It's a good thing that the settlement is growing. Carthage. And yeah, I think we need to rush for armorer and blacksmith, because otherwise, well, we are in trouble once again. Perhaps here a shrine to Baal. Let's try to boost the public growth. Caralis. Shrine to Baal. I guess that's with what we have to go. And then let's get the garrison unit over there. And maybe next turn. Okay, so they have a chance. Oh, and you asked me to build watchtowers, so here it is, at least the first one. And I just hope that this army actually does not charge us. I will move this army a bit closer because, well, we can utilize that supporting army, which we were kind of not supposed to be doing, but it's a defending army, so I guess it doesn't count, does it? And I would most likely want to have alliance with Numidians, because, well, that should make things a bit easier. We only have one settlement in Spain, and losing that wouldn't be crucial, but losing actually Carthage would be a disaster, or even Thapsus, which hit us really hard. So, yeah. Let's hope that the Scipii and the Greeks, yeah, will begin to fight a war. And I think we need to begin to ship Iberian infantries to Sicily rather soon. Okay, and now we have a meeting with Numidian ambassador. Perhaps they would like to make an alliance. Okay, nice. I have noticed in previous playthrough that if you make an alliance with Spain, Numidia is not actually willing to ally with you, and vice versa. So if you ally yourself with Numidia, then Spain is not going to ally themselves with you. And I think we want to get those blacksmiths going on there as well. And here perhaps a road, so that we can move the armies at a bit faster pace. And what about the Gauls? Actually, Spain has only 4 provinces, so if we can muster enough troops, I think we should actually move into engage them at some point. But yeah, it's beginning to feel a bit easier to breathe. Okay. So what do they have? Tanwat's skirmishers. I think we will strike at them. In Thapsus, I think we will go for Temple of Baal and then begin to construction those. And we have Julia coming. Oh, that's kind of bad. What forces they do have? We have a couple of turns of time, 2 units. So basically,
no more moves, sire. Orders? Move out. Aye, my lord. Aye, my lord.
well, at least we will have 2 units defending the settlement over there. And here, yeah, perhaps we should sally forth. So that Scutari is going to be problematic, but we do have bodyguards, so I think that will be enough to turn the tide here. And let's send in the cavalry first, because if they move, we might have a chance for a free shot. Since the Scutari is actually going in first, And Town Watts, well, their morale is not that great, and perhaps we could even hit the skirmishers over there.
Wipe them out!
Okay, nice. And let's try to discourage them a bit from charging again. Another town militia. I think we should try to spare these guys a bit. Perhaps not one of my best moves, to be honest. Okay, they are breaking, good. Okay, they are reloading. Let's try to get a bit of a distance between us and them, and then let's try to break these skirmishers. Okay, good. And have these guys charge the Scutari. Oh. What? Was it? Ah, it was enemy general. Ah, here I was scared that I managed to do it again, that I, in the first battle, lost my general, which fortunately was not my faction leader this time. So, there is that at the very least. But yeah, victory. I just hope that we get the barracks ready rather soon.
My liege.
I think we could strike against Syracuse rather soon. Oh, they are striking against us rather soon, it seems.
Pt1? Yes, my liege. I will speak with them at once.
Nope. Well, perhaps yes. Would they like to make an alliance? Okay. So, let's hope we can survive a bit longer over there. Oh. This is getting difficult. I think we need to have the walls.
Ready to sail! Yes, mighty
And it's too hastati. So basically, we need to bring
Aye, my lord.
a general over there. And it's going to be that one.
Orders?
And the Greeks are having half-stack army already. And we are having pretty much nothing.
My liege. Move out!
And here
Sire.
the Brutii are outgunning us. Well, outnumbering us quite a bit. So, actually I didn't think that this would be so tough a challenge. But let's see what we can achieve. Yeah, so Thapsus is besieged. Let's hope the Greeks will stay on their own side, at least for now. And we have a new... Ah! Okay. So much for the faction leader. But now we do have a new general. Where is... Okay.
Mighty general.
that guy over there.
Aye, great lord.
Yes, mighty lord.
So if we bring this guy over here,
To ambush.
we should be able to outnumber the Julii well enough.
My liege. Onward. Merging armies.
Captain Hannibal sounded nicely victorious, but yeah. Perhaps we cannot consider round shield cavalries to be East Iberian infantries with mounts, I guess. So Thapsus has wooden palisade. We will go hopefully with blacksmith. Caralis, yeah, barracks in preparation for the future. Here, I think we will make land clearance nonetheless. Corduba, excellent. Shrine to Baal next, and we will begin mass production of Iberian infantries. And since we have money quite a bit, oh, that's the capital. Let's see if we could bribe a settlement.
Mighty general.
And here,
Move out.
the Brutii do have, well, at least Hastati.
My liege. Move out.
Some cavalry.
Sire.
Okay,
Sire.
so this is against the rules. Perhaps to balance things out, we cannot bring a general to this one. Or we cannot use but one general over there.
Orders.
I think we still need a couple of turns to grow our forces.
Our ships are under attack.
That was a close call.
Victory.
Aye, great lord. Aye, my lord.
Off the boats.
And practically I couldn't afford
Wolves depleted, sire.
to train or rather build any additional ships because, well, we need to train those Iberian infantries as it is.
Yes, mighty lord.
So Thapsus will hold for 5 turns. Do they have siege equipment? Already they do, and they do have 2 family members.
My liege. Orders.
That's
No more moves, sire.
makes things once again a bit more difficult. That's rather large Greek host. Yeah, pretty much. I'm not sure if we practically can do anything, because these forces just are not enough for an assault. Actually, what we could do is to bring these troops actually to help. Yeah. Okay, that help might come a bit too late. So they have faction heir. I'm a bit afraid that we will lose Thapsus, so we need to concentrate forces. And now I will be using both of those generals. So we need to concentrate forces in Northern Africa because we cannot allow the Brutii to make this their stronghold. We need to take this back rather quickly. And here, well, I think we do have chances of victory, but I think they are actually less than 50%. No offense to our brave troops, but these are not quite matched to Hastati, in my opinion. Let's hope most of the enemies will actually come from that direction, so we should be able to make a bit of a concave against them with the infantry only, and cavalry will charge in. And of course, the city layout is such that, I mean, it's just a brilliant idea not to have any guard towers on the wall which has the gate. I mean, yeah. But perhaps these, they will smash that. And now we are shooting our own wall, it seems. Such is the tragic life of Carthaginian walls.
The walls are broken! The enemy are in the city! Now the fight will be doubly hard!
So, can we... We need to go somewhere. Okay, so you guys will hold over there and get some rest.
The walls belong to the enemy! Look now to brave men as the last line of defense!
So at the very least the Equites are coming this way. Is that actually faction air? Perhaps we should try to smash the light cavalry with heavy cavalry. I think they should do rather well in here. Though that pillar volley will be nasty. Yeah, it was nasty. Yeah, that was a bad move. Since the rest of the enemies are not coming that fast, perhaps we do have a bit of a time to try to deal with the first hostility. Okay, enemy bodyguards are coming. And what's that? Okay. Well, let's hope you guys will hold. And we have another hostility coming. So we need to try to break these ones before the rest can get in. And it seems it's not happening. Oh, we are breaking the velites. Good. But we would need to break the hostility over there. Good.
Your foolish general has got himself killed! How will your soldiers greet this news?
Okay, and that's
The
breaking.
general is fleeing from the enemy! This is a shameful thing for your whole army!
So, what are you guys doing? No. Okay.
The general has chosen cowardice and runs away! How can soldiers fight for such a creature?
Indeed. And this goes to show actually how good Hastati are against, well, Iberian infantry. If we could take down one bodyguard even, that would be great. But let's see. Over one general. I don't mind about those bodyguards, but one general taken down would be great. And that's it.
General has been killed. Now we will see the measure of these soldiers' courage.
So I think we need to treat this as a battle lost. So the goal is to inflict as much casualties as we can. And this Roman army actually wasn't even a half-stack army, and it's pre-Marian army. So basically it means quite a bit of trouble for the rest of the campaign. Yeah. So they have more than half of their strength remaining. And probably now that we have those Iberian infantry barracks there, they will be able to replenish those Hastatis. Oh, this is looking rather hard at the moment.
Orders, my liege. Move out, my liege. Onward.
So nice thing to have that armorer, and I don't think our temples will provide anything for military forces. No. Okay. So then it's, well, some retinue and money. And I think we are going to need to have those improved weapons and armor to actually face those Hastati, and some extra numbers won't hurt. And we are not going to build any roads over there to kind of encourage the Julii to come visiting. And Corduba is doing relatively okay. But yeah, overall I think our position is looking rather dire as it is.
Great one. To hear is to obey. No more moves, sir.
Fortunately, no troops with that ship. And Palma should be growing soon. And perhaps after this turn we will march. I don't like those Scipii spies over there. There probably will be a Scipii army approaching rather soon. Greek navies, hopefully not Greek armies on board. And actually when Palma can begin to produce Iberian infantry, I think we actually need to strike to Spain with them. And yeah, this is beginning to show the issues with public order here. So, we have an army, and I guess that's as good as it's going to get for now. But we will continue to train more and more troops, and hope that knows... Okay. That might actually work to our advantage. because Thapsus should be a bit more lightly defended.
Ready to sail.
Now the question is, should we begin to challenge? Perhaps we should challenge.
The sea is yours, great lord.
The enemy navies, whenever we can achieve a victory. I think we should seek it.
Great one.
And it seems we are beginning to have
Ship
rather
ready.
soon issues with money as well.
Aye, my lord.
But yeah, it's time to besiege Thapsus.
The enemy. We see
It will last 5 turns,
settlement under siege.
and I think the best course of action actually is to try to starve it out. Okay, so that's not going to happen. Yeah, so practically we need to try to beat this initial army quickly, so that we can concentrate on that reinforcing army, because it will be the most difficult one. Iberian infantry just cannot handle a heavy cavalry charge from the front, so the reinforcements are coming from that direction, actually from there. Let's hope that we can actually catch the initial enemy army.
Enemy reinforcements have arrived in battle.
Yeah, we are a bit on a timer, because we need to get rest for the troops as well. So we need to move quickly, and of course at the same time we cannot let our troops tire too much. So 3 formations, 2 wings, since we don't have cavalry, and then the center will just charge, and cavalry will charge from the rear. Okay, good.
These men are perfect. They are running from the
And you
battle in
guys will form up to face the second army, and you will hunt down the remnants of this army.
The gods smile upon you today. The enemy general has been killed and his men lose hard.
Yeah, in the last battle I challenged those equites with a bodyguard, and the result was not good. So we need to rely on the numbers, and we need to actually use our bodyguard against the Roman bodyguard. So basically I'm hoping that these 2 will be able to handle the equites, these 4, the hastati, or perhaps 5. Okay, and there they come. So much for the planning phase. And just hold a while longer. Okay, they are not holding. And the Romans are not breaking. Come on. Just break already. Okay, and now let's go to finish the general over there. And perhaps we actually need to send these guys over there. And that should seal the deal over here. Okay, so I think we actually do have this one. Whew, I think that was actually rather on the knife's edge. Even though we have quite a few survivors, there was that possibility for chain route. And as we want to have the settlement straight away, we need to make sure that not too many of the Romans get away. Yeah, I don't think that was too clear victory. I think at most average, but a victory nonetheless, so that at the very least is nice. And at the same time, we should have most of our army intact. And since we are having issues with money, I think those mines +1 are actually a good investment here. And in Palma, yeah. So at the moment we are having issues with money as well. So from somewhere we need to get enough money for those militia barracks. And then we need to get ports. And we actually need to retrain these troops over here. And the Julii are actually bringing in reinforcements. This is looking bad. But yeah, you can go to take charge of Carthage. As the Numidians actually... Oh, we are actually going to need this guy for war. So you guys will switch around. And then we will send most of the troops to Carthage for retraining. Let's leave a garrison of 4. You can go back rather soon, and then we need to train more of these. That's a lot of Greeks. Not so many Scipii unless they are hiding somewhere around here. Okay, that's where they are hiding. So we are going to need those Iberian infantries rather soon, and there is a rebel navy that hopefully will leave soon. So, the upkeep of 1 Iberian infantry is 170. And that's, by the way, in my opinion, quite a lot. Since we need quite a few of them for them to be of any use. So that's a rather difficult issue. But we need more money, and for that I think it's time to begin to build ports. And improve the existing ports. We need some trade partners rather soon as well. Here it will take a while for the settlement to grow, as the Romans are wrecking the countryside. Perhaps we should actually destroy that temple and improve the farms. So I guess it's trying to tan it. Okay, and in Palama, yeah, we are doing what we can. So now the question is, should we actually, perhaps we should bring Hasdrubal, difficult name, to Lilibayum and send him to face. Yeah, we need all the edges we can get. So we should try to entice the Romans to attack us. Also, Quintus is not that good of a general, which is nice. That's Greek navy blocking us over there. And we have a new family member, it seems. Numidians coming this way, not good. Military genius. Okay, we will make him a top-notch general. We kind of cannot afford to have plague. And here... Well, since we are moving out, I think Rhodes will support us.
My liege, mighty general, move out!
Can we have higher taxes? No, we cannot.
Mighty general, boarding.
And we can only move out next turn. I'm a bit worried about these Numidians. And we have... Okay,
Sire, orders.
I think we actually need to...
Orders. Ships ready.
So you are not going anywhere?
Boats. Mighty general.
Is it the best course of action to actually let them take Thapsus? And then kind of try to take it back. That's one big army over there. So practically our problem at the moment is that we don't have a proper concentration of force anywhere. So if we want to strike at anyone, we would need to bring the forces
Sire,
somewhere.
move out.
And I think we just have to move against something, because we are becoming kind of strangled this way. We are not having... Okay, so that's it for Thapsus.
We're under siege.
So we are not making more of money. And that's it for Lilibayum. Okay, two-pronged attack from the Romans.
Aye, great lord. Engage. The sea is yours, great lord. Ships ready. Set sail.
Orders.
So where did these guys come from? But yeah, in any case, we don't want to pay the upkeep of those guys. And if we just had money to build
Orders.
a port.
Engage the enemy. Glorious victory. Attack.
What? 100 castle. Okay, well, at least it was
Victory. My liege. Leaving the army. Onward.
one hostage down, but I mean,
No more moves,
this looks
sire.
bad.
Mighty general. March. Out of move.
This looks really bad.
Mighty general. Mighty general. Orders. Sire.
And you move a bit farther away. And
General! Attack! Out of moves, great lord. Prepare to ambush.
So could we perhaps kind of hasten the process of losing Thapsus? If we just sally forth and lose enough forces, then they will take it.
My liege.
And then we can besiege it.
The enemy. Besieging settlement, sir. Settlement under siege, sir. Mighty general. Forward. Orders. Orders. Forward. Out of moves, great lord. Mighty general. Engage the enemy. Victory is ours, mighty one.
This is actually beginning to look like a more difficult campaign than the Eastern Infantry only, because at least the early Eastern general is actually good. Whereas, well, these guys are not so good. But actually here, they are sallying forth, so we should be able to get a rather nice surround on their armies as they are marching out, and they shouldn't be throwing those pillars at us. So perhaps we could actually do something relatively well in here, or rather easily. You two get over there. And we need a solid wall of troops over there to face the enemy cavalry. And all the casualties we can inflict here now will be so beneficial. And I think you guys need to pull back a bit. Oh, that's only Equites. Okay, I think we want to keep the bodyguard and these two units as reserve. Because the real battle is happening rather soon when that bodyguard gets in here. So the Romans have lost 19% of their troops, we have lost less than 10. Perhaps you guys could pull a bit back. How about you guys charged instead of just firing those pillar? Could we have a bit more of you guys here on the... Well, let's be honest, on the killing field. Okay, and let's see. So now is the... I think the decide... where the battle will be decided.
The enemy general flees like a frightened child. Enemy general has been killed. Now we will see the measure of his soldiers' courage.
Okay, we can have some more troops in here. And I think we need to give soon some of the troops a bit of a rest. Perhaps a small cavalry charge. Turn the tide. Those hostility are actually holding quite well, even though they are very tired. But yeah, I think it's time to organize a new front. And then we will have you guys taking this position over here, and you along with that unit will take the position over there, and you guys can get some rest, hopefully soon. Okay, now. Okay, let's see what they will bring next time. Okay, hostility coming. You guys do pull back. We want to have a surround over there. You pull back as well. Okay, so this unit is fresh. And these are warmed up. Where is the other bodyguard over there? So it's going to be 2 hostilities we are facing this time. And I think it's actually time to charge. And that was a rather nasty pillar throw over there. And they are still eager. I mean, these Romans have to be crazy. Still steady. Finally, they are breaking. But we are not going to go in, but form again for the next round. Don't go over there, please. What? They broke. Okay, you go over there. All of you go. This might be our chance. Okay, you're not going to go anymore. Get out.
The walls are taken.
Except that it might be that... Can we get out anymore? It's looking a bit bad for this unit. I don't want to lose any of these Iberian infantries because retraining them will be so much easier than training new ones. So I think we need to pull these two units out at the very least. And let's hope the charge here will break them. Yes. Okay. So... Okay, another unit out from the battle. So what now? That's our gate. So we could get in and get smashed by two hostilities. So perhaps we will need to knock politely. And they do have here some war dogs and scraps of other units. They have lost 65% of their troops. We have lost almost half. Oh, what? That was sneaky.
Your soldiers and the battling ram are at the walls. Now
It
comes
almost
the test
sounded
of
like
their
the
courage.
battling ram, but I guess it was battering ram.
Luck and the gods smile upon you. The enemy walls are
Well,
breached.
it seems the Carthaginian commentator doesn't think so highly of their own troops as it's luck having to do with us breaking in. Okay, but that's practically those velites taken care of. So the gateway is not ours anymore. Okay, good. So that should be the last of the war dogs, which are actually taking quite a chunk of our forces. Okay, and since they are sending in Hastati, I think we need to have a couple of units over there, and then let's take the gateway so we can reinforce the guys against these Hastatis. Okay, I need you guys to buy us some time for us to break that Hastati over there. Okay, good. You are buying that time rather nicely. Okay, it's time to finish this. And you just ride. It's imperative that we smash as many of these enemies over here that we can. It will be so much easier to deal with them as they are fleeing compared to fighting them honestly. By the way, I have probably never used troop rotation in Rome Total War, but in this battle it kind of was a must if I was to succeed. And we only have, well, I guess we have approach from there as well. But yeah, so I guess you guys go into do battle. And then we need to pull back. Perhaps this will buy us several turns. It's taking so long and we are suffering casualties all the time. Okay, so perhaps we've bought some turns against the Brutii. But Okay, I think the last one actually was a final battle for this episode, and we do have rather exciting, but by my reckoning, rather extremely difficult battle ahead of us in the next episode. So yeah, this is a proper challenge. Let's see if we need to start the campaign anew at some point. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you like the content, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Feel free to post comments, give advice, ask questions and so on. And if you want to support the channel, consider becoming a channel member. You get access to some emojis, more to say what types of campaigns to play and what versus battles to make and so on and so forth. And very special thanks to existing channel members Napoleon Complex, Kosaku, Saar, Mark Anthony. Your support is greatly treasured. Have a great rest of the day. Quality Old Games out.